Hey devs. Today, we are diving into a showdown between two massive genres, roguelike versus roguelite. They may sound similar, but trust me, the differences are huge. First off, let us talk about the OG roguelike. These games take their name from the classic 1980s game Rogue, and they stick to some pretty hardcore rules. Number 1. Permadeath. If you die, it's game over. No save points, no continues. You die, you lose everything. It's brutal, but that's also what makes it so exciting. Permadeath is key to the roguelike experience because it gives every decision weight. Knowing that one wrong move could end your entire run keeps you on your toes, pushing you to play smarter, more strategically. And when you pair permadeath with procedural generation, you get something really special. Every death resets the game world, giving you a brand new layout, new enemies, and different loot. So, even if you lose, no two runs are ever the same. That combination of high stakes and constant variety makes every attempt feel fresh, challenging, and rewarding. Number 2. Procedural generation. This means every run, every dungeon is completely random. No two games are ever the same, and that's where the magic happens. Procedural generation keeps things unpredictable. You never know what kind of enemies, traps, or treasures are waiting for you. This forces you to adapt and think on your feet with each new run. One moment you might find yourself battling a horde of ED enemies, and the next you're face to face with a boss that'll push your skills to the limit. This randomness gives infinite replayability because every time you play, the game world resets in a completely new way. Combined with permadeath, it means every run is a fresh challenge, and even when you lose, you're eager to jump back in and see what the game throws at you next. And number 3, difficulty. Roguelikes are tough as nails, no doubt about it. Every move counts, and one small mistake can cost you big time. These games don't hold your hand, they force you to learn, adapt, and push yourself to the limit. The beauty of this difficulty is that it's not just about hard enemies or tricky puzzles. It is about the choices you make along the way. Do you go for that risky loot in the next room? Or do you play it safe and heal up? Every decision has consequences, and the game will punish you for the wrong ones. But here's the thing. The challenge is what makes roguelikes so satisfying. The feeling of finally mastering the mechanics, surviving against the odds, and beating the game after countless attempts. That reward is unbeatable. It is the kind of victory that sticks with you because you earned it, one hard-fought step at a time. Now, if all that sounds a little too intense, don't you worry, there's another option that might be more your speed. Roguelites. While roguelites share a lot of DNA with roguelikes, they dial things back just a bit to offer a more forgiving experience without losing that sense of challenge. The big difference? Persistent progression. Sure, you can die, but you're not starting from scratch. Every run, you unlock upgrades, new characters, or abilities that stick around for future attempts. This could be anything from permanent stat boosts, new weapons, or unlocking new areas to explore. So even in failure, you're still making progress. Another key element is that while roguelites still have permadeath, it is not as punishing. You don't lose everything, which takes away some of that frustration but keeps the tension high. You're always on edge, knowing death still matters, but it is not the end of the world. Roguelites also tend to focus more on experimentation and customization. Because of the progression systems, you can try different builds, strategies, or character classes, giving you more flexibility to approach the game in your own way. This makes the genre super engaging, because each run feels like an opportunity to try something new. So, now that we've covered the basics of roguelikes and roguelites, let us lay it all out side by side. What exactly sets these two apart? Alright, let us break it down real quick so it's crystal clear. First, in a roguelike, when you die, you lose everything. No second chances, no mercy. But in a roguelite, even though you still die, there's always some kind of progression that carries over to the next run, whether it has new abilities, gear, or unlocks that make your next attempt a bit easier. Second, roguelikes tend to be completely random and brutally difficult, where every decision could be your last. Meanwhile, roguelites give you tools to improve after each run, helping you get stronger over time and making the experience a little more forgiving. Third, roguelikes are often turn-based, like old-school RPGs, giving you time to plan each move. Roguelites, on the other hand, often feature real-time combat, making them faster, more fluid, and packed with action. So there you have it, folks, roguelike vs roguelite. Two genres with shared roots, but offering completely different experiences. What is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow and stay tuned for more game dev insights and breakdowns. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.